So warfare. Let me give you one example. I want to cover something here real quick as we get into this, and I'm going to show this little image to get your personal thoughts on this here, so we can take a look here. So in particular, my buddy Steven, he brought this to our attention. There was a discussion about your book in one of these rooms. Your book points out a potential mistranslation of a Hebrew word shol, which is understood to refer to the hem or a robe or to a robe itself. You suggest that it's better understood as originally referring to genitalia. You cite examples of where the term in question is used to refer to genitalia, but when reviewing the examples, it seems like the term in context refers to the garment covering the genitalia rather than the genitalia, and the LXX translated many of these examples as references into Greek as buttocks. Can you explain what's going on?
Yeah, in short, yeah. So quite often what's going on in the Masoretic text or in the Hebrew Bible text is that you quite often get the notion that it's so elastic are these idioms and euphemisms that you get the idea that even something that, so in the prophetic text, this word shul tends to be used for genitalia, primarily female genitalia, because that's what gets talked about the most in the Hebrew Bible, because normally it's in context of misogyny and condemnation and sexual violence. So let's just get that out there. These are very masculinist texts written by men for men. But yeah, so quite often with these euphemisms, you get it's almost like you get a sense of an extension, so that by lifting a woman's skirts, you're exposing her genitalia. So but you get a slippage, like an overlap. So for example, another example of a body part where you get a similar kind of thing happening is when Yahweh says, "I hurl my shoe on Edom." That basically means he's trampling on Edom, but the shoe and the foot are so closely associated. It's almost as if one is an extension of the other. And that's exactly what's happening in those Masoretic texts there. By the time you get to the Greek translation, so the Septuagint, which is produced around the 3rd to 2nd centuries BCE, by the time you're getting to that kind of context, you're already starting to have this real resistance towards both the idea of a bodily deity, but also a resistance towards the idea of a discomfort, much more of a discomfort with these sorts of explicit body parts, these kind of genital body parts. And so you get layer upon layer upon layer of euphemism building.